Hello UCL, welcome to BizTalk's very first video market wrap. My name is Jolie and this is Cameron and Jan on screen with me here. We are very excited to be giving you this week's macro update on oil as well as a political update on America. Alright, so to start off with oil, Brent crude oil is currently trading at $55.86 per barrel. To give you a brief history of what has happened over the past 100 years, we've done a little bit of research. Prices, as adjusted for inflation, have fluctuated between $126 per barrel, as seen in the Arab Spring, and $10 per barrel, as seen during the Great Depression, with a mean of $32 per barrel.
Just to give a bit of background on recent events, the global financial crisis caused prices to collapse from over $140 per barrel to $70 a barrel. This was followed by the Arab Spring, and in particular Libya, which caused supply to retract and oil prices to climb from $70 to $120 per barrel. Proliferation of US fracking and weak global demand caused another collapse over the period from May 2014 to the end of 2015, from $115 a barrel to a low of $30 per barrel. And in addition, in 2015, the US lifted its ban on oil exports on the 31st of December. In the short term recently, we've seen interdependence between US shale oil producers and OPEC. We've seen a price floor being created by OPEC in cutting its oil supply for the first time since 2008, and even non-participant countries such as Russia have agreed to restrict output. There is also a price ceiling being caused by increasing US shale output. As OPEC restricts supply and oil prices rise, US shale oil producers are motivated to increase their active rig count because production becomes more profitable. And all of this leads to two major competing forces within the oil industry: bearish US shale and bullish OPEC.
Long term, we're going to see a transition from west to east. Why is this happening, you might ask? Well, on the demand side, over the next 20 years, growth in oil demand will be driven by emerging markets like India and China. The demand for oil has not yet peaked. However, its pace of growth will slow over time. This is due to falling GDP growth, as well as China and India's move towards more energy-efficient activities like car sharing and ride pooling. Moreover, there's also a change in what types of fuels are being demanded. Low-carbon and renewable sources of energy, for example, are being sought by the government over coal. This has led to natural gas growing at a much faster rate than coal and oil. Altogether, however, many analysts still don't believe that Africa will be a significant energy consumer even by the mid-2030s.
Just to give a bit of background on the 2017 outlook, the low this year has been $53.58, with a high of $58.37. This is a historically tight range, and volatility has been at a 2-year low. We're likely to see a stable supply side as OPEC stick by their intentions in cutting supply, whilst US shale grows. But the demand side is set to grow, and this is going to cause upward movement.
So Cameron, what's already been priced into the market?
Well, we're seeing hedge funds and other speculators taking the largest net long position in Brent since 2011 and the largest net long in WTI since 2006. And this suggests that the market is really backing the bullish case for crude.
So there you have it, the past, present, and future trend on oil. Now on to Jan to discuss why the United States is no longer united.
Since entering the White House on the 20th of January, Mr. Trump has governed the way he campaigned. He has pleased Republicans with some moves, particularly his choice of Neil Gorsuch for the Supreme Court, but also made some nervous with the turbulence resulting from White House infighting. Douglas Brinkley, a presidential historian at Rice University, says Mr. Trump has had a difficult launch and has made no progress unifying the nation. He said, and I quote, "He has really been trying to feed raw meat to the base and fulfill campaign promises. But there is a feeling of things being hastily done in a kind of slipshod way. He hasn't done as good job of expanding his support to include people who didn't vote for him." According to an NBC Wall Street Journal poll, Mr. Trump is the first president in decades to start with a negative approval rating, with only 44% approving of his performance. While 47% favor his policies, a relatively high number compared to past Republican presidents, his rating was hurt by the fact that 59% do not like him. Politicians on Capitol Hill and foreign leaders are not sure whether to listen to cabinet officers when they send reassuring messages and ignore the president's tweets, or the reverse. Mr. Trump bashed NATO during the campaign, but his officials have since reassured allies in Europe and Asia that he is committed to America's alliances. Mixed messages have also been sent out over his immigration crackdown and whether the administration supports a two-state solution to the Israeli-Palestinian situation. Kathy Newbeck, a Trump supporter from California, said she was pleased with the way Mr. Trump had started, but recognized that the criticism would only subside when he delivered results. I love his style. He is approaching it from the everyday man and woman way of operating. But one speech isn't going to unify. It is going to take him a lot of wins before the rest of the people start to appreciate him. While politicians grapple with his presidency, his voters applaud his push to fulfill his campaign promises. Many Trump voters feel that the media will not give him a chance. 90% of Republicans surveyed in the NBC Wall Street Journal poll said the media were exaggerating problems with his presidency.
Thanks a lot for watching. That's all we have for today.